Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, December 24th, 2014. I'm Sarah Colvin.
And I'm Sarah Mantle.
And this is Barnstable This Morning, our special Christmas Eve edition.
Yes, so exciting.
Exactly, I know. I'm so excited, both of us in the holiday spirit. We've got our holiday background. We're gonna break from our traditional format this morning, and we're gonna look back at some of the segments that we like from the year past. Of course, all next week we're gonna have our week in review. We'll be going Monday through Friday and taking a look at, I think there's 31 segments from the year that we pulled out.
Wow.
That represent what we did over the course of 2014. So pretty cool to look
I have to
at.
say, I love the year in review. I even got a sneak peek of something we're going to show later on in the show, which is a compilation of all our weather photos from the entire year. And I have to say, looking at that compilation was just awesome. It was so many memories flashing through. So really cool. Can't wait to share that with everyone. And I love looking back and seeing some of the highlights.
Absolutely. We'll have holiday greetings from our town staff as well. I got to hand it to all the staff that came down when we had our open studio event. That was great. That was the first time we did that. And I think it was really successful. Everybody really was in the holiday spirit. So I can't wait to share those greetings with you. But thinking about the year, you know, we had our 375th anniversary celebrated this year. So many things went on with that. It's hard to believe that we are at the end of our 375th year.
I can't believe it.
376 next year, right?
That's right.
It just keeps moving on. We, of course, had some pretty serious snow events to start 2014, so we'll take a look at that over the course of next week, and all sorts of good stuff as well. So why don't we get today started with some holiday greetings from our staff.
From the assessor's office to you.
Have a wonderful holiday season.
Hi, I'm Ann Spillane, Finance and Support Services Director with the Barnstable Police Department.
And I'm Jennifer Ellis from the Community Impact Unit.
And we just wanted to wish you
a happy and safe holiday season.
And the best in 2015.
Hi, this is Joanne Miller-Buntich, Director of the Growth Management Department, and I want to wish everyone a very, very happy holiday and peace and joy in the new year.
So especially at this time of year, as we're heading into the winter, the cold months, I like to think about the summertime. And, and we have a great summer here on Cape Cod.
We sure do. And before we know it, it'll be back.
That's right. Before we know it, it will be back. And of course, you know, one of the earliest signs of spring is seeing those artist shanties move from their winter home at the Armory parking lot over to Bismore Park. And that's,
love the art shanties. And they've made some progress too. They've added some music on certain nights. I think it's Thursday nights and Saturday afternoons. They have jazz. So really, I've loved to see how the artist shanties have evolved over the years. And really, they're such a popular venue.
They really are. And it's amazing the revitalization that Bismore Park has gone through in the past 10 years. And just to see the rotating artists that are in there, all the different mediums they work with, whether it's photography or painting or pottery, or there was even some writers and fabric artists and really all sorts of things. So that's kind of the setup for this first segment, which traditionally on Fridays we have our arts and culture segment, which Melissa Chartrand produces for us. And this is the one in which she visited some artists at the shanties. So let's check that out now here on Barnstable This Morning.
I'm Melissa Chartrand. I'm down at the Hyannis High Arts Artist Shanties on Ocean Street, Bismore Park, Hyannis Harbor. This is a really tough job for me, I know. Tough to be down here on a gorgeous afternoon, beautiful breezes, working waterfront, people coming and going, but here I am. We're going to spend a little time today with a few of the artists as a part of the Artist Shanty program. You can find out all sorts of information about the program, how it began, how you can be, if you're an artist, to get involved, right online at artsbarnstable.com. Let's now take a visit with Margot Sherman. You've been doing this now since this program began 9 seasons ago.
Yes, I have. This is my ninth year here.
9th year here. You've gone from being here for many weeks at a time to several different weeks throughout the season, and I'm sure you've seen the program grow from different artists coming in and the people that come, the area itself that's changed so much, and your work, I'm sure, has changed with these seasons.
Yes, it has. The program is fantastic for all artists. We have, it's developed into a great program that we have people coming back every single year. Every season I have customers that have been here maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago and are so happy that I'm still here. And they purchase, I had a lady the other day that had purchased a bag and she had worn it so much that it worn out, so she purchased another one, the same thing.
And I was here a few weeks ago when you happened to be here, and there was a woman from Montreal, I believe it's Marianne from Montreal,
Yes.
who it was so beautiful to see her come. It was as if you were old-time friends, that she's come every single year to see you, and there's so many more stories like that.
Yes, she has come every year. She's purchased jackets and bags, and every year she comes back and purchases more. And it's just great to see her. We sometimes correspond via email.
Let's talk a little bit about that and your product and the type of work that you have here.
Well, I started in the beginning mostly with tapestry product. And as I spoke with customers and as the product developed, I switched more into cottons and more into real coastal design with shells and hydrangea fabrics, and I make placemats, runners, and bags, and I love the work, and I love being here and meeting all the people that that come and visit.
Sure, you meet people from around the region, around the world, the artist community itself as well, meeting new artists and forming those friendships too.
Every season I meet new artists that I've become friends with, and we go to lunch during the season, and it's wonderful. It's been a wonderful experience for me.
Good. Now, the coastal products that you say, it seems that there are people that are drawn to that. Let's talk a little bit about, you were mentioning the hydrangea work and the blue anchors and nautical theme.
Nautical. We have, I basically work with nautical themes, except for the hydrangeas, which are so indigenous to this area. We have them growing everywhere. And so that's a great product, and I can barely make it fast enough to for people purchasing it, and of course the nautical, and I have lighthouses and shells and that type of thing.
So let me ask you, Margot, you work right down here. As I said, I was teasing that I can sew. I actually cannot sew at all, so I have such an admiration for that. Let's just briefly talk about where you learned how to do this.
Well, I've always loved sewing. When I was a little girl, my mom would make doll clothes and things for me, for my dolls, and so I just kind of, I think, picked up from that. I made my children's clothing way back when, and I just started, I just love fabric. You know, I always wanted to paint, but I couldn't paint, so I thought I'd work with fabric. That's pretty close.
That's your painting. You do it so well.
That's
So
right.
for our viewers, Margot, they can find you at CapeCodAccents.com, and we love having you here at the Shanties. I'm glad it's such a wonderful experience for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a wonderful experience for me.
I'm with Susanna Wheelwright, which ties in nicely with the type of work you do. I'm sure I'm not the first one to say that. Spinning Wheel, we're here to talk a little bit about your work today, and including some fresh vegetables as well, also locally grown. And I tried some new kinds of tomatoes. That's kind of neat too, Susanna. But thank you for your time today. You first came to the Shanties last year, and so I want to talk to you about your Shanty experience, and you're back again. Obviously, it was a positive one. What you find about being in the Shanties? Let's first start with that.
Well, you can't beat the view. It's $1 million view, and everybody who's here is pretty happy because they're on vacation, and a lot of them are really fascinated to figure out what it is that you're doing, what kind of work you're doing. You know, they see what you're doing, and then half of them run in and want to talk to you and ask lots of questions. And the other half sort of, you know, maybe not half, less than half. Some of them keep walking and go on to the jewelry or the fishing boats or whatever they're interested in. So it's a pretty like low stress, high excitement kind of a scene. And it's also the intersection of a lot of different scenes, which I like. So it's, you know, the fishing boats, it's the tourists, it's the people working here, it's the culture, it's the, you know, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And as you say, you not only get to sell your work, you get to work on your work. Have you changed your work since you've been here? Do you take in some of the feedback?
Yeah, I definitely have. And I still am trying to figure out, you know, what people want to see, and you know, some of it is, I think they want to see things that are different that they've never seen before, like new kinds of vegetables or new kinds of soap, because I've seen these soaps, you know, in gift shops with, you know, felted wool on top, but I've never seen people reusing sweaters. So I was like, why not try that? At the moment, though, they haven't really sold very well. So, you know, obviously I need to either figure out a different way to market them or you know, change the product a little bit. So part of it's just trying to figure out prices and what products to show people.
Right, which is a big part of our Shanty program, to give artists an opportunity to figure all of that out. Let's talk about some of your rugs here, about the product itself and how you make that.
Sure. The larger ones I do on a loom at home that's quite a wide loom. And I can actually do 2 smaller runners or yoga mats on that loom at home. And that allows me, it's a bigger, heavier loom. It's both wider and I can pack the reused fabric in better. I use fabric strips that I cut up from fabric that people give me, or estate sales or yard sales, that kind of thing. So it's all reused, recycled.
Which is very important to you.
It is. That's definitely a big part of why I'm here and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I actually grew up being a spinner and a knitter and was used to working with yarn and things, and that was very much more about texture, and this is a lot more about color and sort of the ethos of reusing. So I feel very lucky to get to come in and play with color every day and talk to kids about weaving and how the loom works. You know, I was a teacher in my former life, and so I'm always excited to talk to kids. It also fits in really well with the Massachusetts State curriculum, because a lot of the kids have gone to Lowell to go see the textile mills, and they want to come tell me what they know about weaving and looms. And I actually had a couple guys stop in yesterday who'd both been to UMass Lowell back when it was Lowell Tech. So I learned that it was a tech school that taught weaving. Who knew?
Who knew? And is that, you said you've been weaving a long time. Let's talk a little bit about that and how you started.
Yeah, I started to weave about 20 years ago, and I learned in a studio in Vermont. It was high school students getting to learn with a teacher, and she was welcoming to you know, other teachers. I was teaching math and social studies. And so that's where I learned, and then eventually she gave me a loom that they were culling from the studio, and that's actually the one I have here today because it's my more portable loom. It's very well loved and lots of people ask about it. And basically I took a hiatus from weaving for like 10, 15, maybe at least 10 years because you know, life got in the way. So here I am back again. When I moved to Cape Cod full time, I made the commitment to buy a big loom and work with fabrics and sort of switched up my craft, you know, from the knitting, spinning, you know, working with wool to the working with fabric. And here I am.
Here you are. It's interesting to see how it's evolved and where it'll take you. And in addition to the rugs, let's briefly talk about, because you also teach yoga, and let's talk about that product line.
A lot of folks come through, and I would, you know, even people who aren't yogis might like one of these rugs as a you know, runner for their hallway. They're super soft underfoot. And I've definitely been playing with product-wise, using different materials. So both really soft, like flannels and jerseys that would soak up sweat for hot yoga, or you'd really like to lie on if you're doing Shavasana. And then also with non-skid materials, like the bike inner tubes, you know, that don't move when you're doing your downward-facing dog. And also some of the packaging materials. So that's another piece that I've sort of brought in, and I'd love to do workshops too, in which people come and bring their own materials that are special to them and design their own yoga mats, and then I take them away and weave them on my loom at home.
So it's almost like and that makes it extra special, and that connection for that person that's given you a part of them and their materials as well. And what we're excited about too, Susanna, we talked about, as you mentioned, workshops, and part of the Shanty program here is to see the artists grow and be represented elsewhere or do other things within the community. And we've talked about having some workshops. So I want to tell our viewers to look in the fall that hopefully we will have you, or early next spring, to have you doing perhaps some workshops or even teaching some yoga at the Geyer Barn and elsewhere throughout town. So we're just about out of time. Let's tell our viewers how they can find you online.
Oh, sure. I have an Etsy site that I wish were more updated. Again, I'm going to plead new mom. Very little time online. But I have an Etsy shop that's Oh Susanna Rugs. And I also have a Google site that's also Oh Susanna Rugs. And then you can reach me at gmail.com as Oh Susanna Artisan Rugs.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And also through our town website, artsbarnstable.com, you can find out all information on all the artists on the Shanty program and all the arts happenings in and around Hyannis and all 7 villages of Barnstable. For Susanna Wheelwright, I'm Melissa Chartrand, wishing you an artful day.
I love thinking about that warm summer weather.
know.
It's so beautiful down there at the shanties. But we'll see them back before we know it. Springtime, May or so, they will be back at Bismore Park.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. So what do you think we go to some more greetings from our staff?
I think that would be lovely.
All right, let's check it out.
The clerk's office is here to wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a healthy and prosperous New Year, and some of these folks want to sing. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, I'm Lynn Poyan, Director of Community Services for the Town of Barnstable.
And I'm Chanel Rose, the Community Services Administrative Assistant and also Marketing and Special Events Coordinator at the Barnstable Senior Center.
And we look forward to wishing you and your family a very happy holiday.
Happy holidays!
Hi, I'm Rob Steen, the Assistant Director of Public Works.
I'm Colin Delory, Recycling Labor.
Hi, I'm Bob Lovell, Supervisor of the Transfer Station.
And I'm Dan Santos, the Director of the Department of Public Works. We'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a wonderful New Year.
Really some wonderful people work here
I
at
was
the
just going to say,
town of
what good
Barnstable.
sports of them to come down and record a greeting for everyone. I think this is one of my favorite parts of the year as well.
I think so too. I think so too. Well, looking back over the year, one of the coolest things I think that happened here at Town Hall was a gentleman who had been cleaning out his grandmother's closet, came in with a box for Len Gobeil, who's been working on this project about all the memorials in town, and it was a literal treasure trove of artifacts from the life of Orrin Keyes. And Lenny, as he is known to do, sometimes co-hosts the show here with me, and you as well. We've both had to be subjected to Lenny as a co-host, but this time I had him come in and bring the box and show it to us. So for our viewers who may not have seen that, or perhaps who have, let's check that out now here on Barnstable This Morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable This Morning. I'm Sarah Coleman here with Len Gobeil, and you've got a big box in front of you, Lenny.
And I want to show you the contents of this box and explain what it is, and it deals with a veteran of the town of Barnstable who was killed in World War II. And the veteran's name is Orrin Keyes. And in 1947, the town of Barnstable dedicated a beach to Keyes. And so it's called, obviously, Keyes Beach. You and I decided some time ago, about 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago now.
Yeah, to pay tribute to all the veterans in the town of Barnstable. And we went out and simply with Sarah Beal, our producer here this morning, and we went out and we shot some photographs of all of the memorial stones that all are around the town of Barnstable. And so we have, the first thing we want to start with is the memorial stone for Orrin Keyes Beach. This was taken at Keyes Beach, and this is what the dedication finally looks like.
Great, so let's learn a little about him. Yeah.
Orrin Femin Keyes was born in 1921 in Barnstable. He attended Barnstable High School and graduated with the class of 1938. His yearbook write-up notes that he is the amiable embodiment of energy, and that has often been the cause of his antics in the classroom. But still more has been expended on the track, where he performed brilliantly. Orrin Keyes starred in track in his 4 years, played basketball in his junior and senior years, and played football in his senior year. He enlisted in the Army 3 years before the start of World War II and reached the rank of Private First Class. Orrin Keyes was a member of B Company, 1st Battalion, 502nd Parachute Infantry Regiment. The exact location of his death is unclear, but there is a plaque in the city of St. Odenrode which notes that 11 paratroopers of B Company gave their lives in the liberation and defense of this city in Belgium on September 21st, 1944. Orrin Keyes of Hyannis was one of these paratroopers. He was awarded the Purple Heart and is buried in Plot 10, Row J, Grave 21 at the American War Cemetery in Margraten, Netherlands. In 1946, the beach known as C Street Beach was renamed Orrin Keyes Beach by a vote at town meeting.
Beautiful spot, Keys Beach.
That's really nice. And that's Diane James, a former high school teacher who was very involved in doing things for the town of Barnstable as well. And that was her voice.
Indeed. So a couple of weeks ago, a gentleman came to town hall and he had something for you.
Are you Lenny? Yep. You have any interest in history? I said, yep. And he said, I want to give this to you. This is a typical story of somebody going into your grandmother's house and saying, I'm going to go upstairs in the attic and clean the attic. And he found this box right here in Hyannis, okay? And so he said, I want to give this to you. And this is all about Orrin Keys. And that's why we had that clip about Keys Beach. This is Orrin Keys's diploma from Barnstable High School.
Now, what year is this from, Laney? This is from June 15th,
Keys.
1938, just to give our viewers a little bit of a perspective as to how old this is. And you know how your mom keeps stuff or your grandmother keeps stuff? This is like the box that Orrin Keys' grandmother kept of all of his keepsakes.
This is the Orrin Keys yearbook from 1938. This was in the box that John Marchant, by the way, is his name, and John Marchant is the grand-nephew of Orrin Keys. So we have a photograph here of Orrin Keys, and just as you and I did many years ago, I don't know if you can take that really closely, but we have the signatures of his fellow students in this yearbook. So we have the yearbook, and that was donated to us. And here we have the testimonial gratitude for our performance of World War II. This was given by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to the Keys family. And we have a picture of Orrin Keys here. And we have another picture of Orrin Keys. This is Orrin Keys in his Army uniform. And this was given to his grandmother. And we have it. And the town of Barnstable now owns it. As you may have heard from past stories or recollections, these are almost too delicate to handle. These are actual letters that Orrin Keys wrote to his mother and grandmother
while he was in the
service. And this is dated 1942. And we have some letters here, and more letters, and more letters, and more letters.
And really,
the thing that's
if I may just pause on these letters for a moment before we move, is you really get a story, and as you mentioned, they're very delicate and tied up with string. You know, this is something you would see in a movie. You know, here are the letters from World War II that a soldier wrote back home.
Exactly.
And it could just be something simple, like, I miss you, and it's lonely, or it's tough here. But it does tell the story of Orrin Keys' time in the service.
We opened one of these letters and looked at it, and Orrin Keys wrote back, apparently his grandmother sent him some fudge brownies. and he says, thank you for the brownies. This is the best food that I've had in 3 weeks.
And didn't he end up sharing them with his fellow soldiers as well? I'm sure they were very happy to have that taste
the conclusion of his letter, he says, dear Grandma, send me some more brownies. This is the one that affected me personally the most. This is a Purple Heart. And as I opened this box, you will see this is the Purple Heart that was given to Orrin Keys. And how do I know it was given to Orrin Keys? Because if you turn this Purple Heart over, it says given to Orrin F. Keys, excuse me, Orrin F. Keys. This is his actual Purple Heart. And the story, as you heard in the videotape, Orrin Keys was a paratrooper during World War II. They landed in Brussels, and they were walking down the street. They were trying to save this one town in Brussels, and apparently he and about a dozen other paratroopers were all killed. And that took place in a little village called Oldenroode in Belgium. And he was shot and killed. And this is the actual Purple Heart given to us by John Marchant, excuse me, in the town of Barnstable. Will now have control over all of this. Here is his Bible, okay? And you talk about a grandmother saving things.
This is my favorite part of what's in the whole box.
This is work that Orrin Keys did while he was in school.
As a schoolboy.
As a schoolboy.
Third grade?
And he did a drawing of a bird.
A book report on Treasure Island.
Imagine that.
I love it.
A book report on
I love
Treasure Island. And something from 1932 while he was in school. From
Brief
1932. Stuff about Barnstable High School and his classmates and things that they did. This is just a wonderful collection. And we have more photographs.
So it's really, you know...
Hey, can I, just before you say that, before we conclude, there are people out there who watch our program who may remember Dr. Carl Fearing Schultz. He was the minister at the Federated Church in Hyannis. And Dr. Schultz, this may not be known by a lot of people, actually put together a newsletter. And he mailed this out to all of the soldiers who were from Barnstable and who served in World War II. And at the end he says, with friendliest wishes, I am the colonel, the deacon, the Deke, Schultze, or what have you. And he signs it, the deacon, written by Carl Fearing Schultz. And the date, this goes back to the 1940s while these people were in the war.
And it says Dear Kesey.
And it says Dear Kesey on the front of it.
A little familiar right there.
So what are we going to do with this? Well, at this moment, I did talk to the town manager, Tom Lynch, and Tom suggested to us that the town may be interested in buying a new bookcase. We're not quite sure where we're going to put the bookcase, and all of this is going to be put into the bookcase for viewing by all the people who want to come in and take a look at this.
Absolutely.
In addition to that, we have started to make preparations to take all of the letters and scan them and put them somewhere on a drive, and it's making one of the Town of Barnstable historical
so people can
website,
read them
so people can
get
read
a look
these,
at what
and then
life
we'll
was
save
like.
them. And the last thing that I think I'd like to share with you is this goes back to 1937, and this is a medal that Orrin Fearing Schultz Orrin Keyes won. This says junior 3.5-mile run in the South Shore track meet held at Weymouth High School in 1937, and he won some ribbons.
Fantastic. Well, really just amazing pieces of history, and I think that, you know, it's not often that you come across a collection like this that tells the story of somebody's life kind of comprehensively as this does. So I look forward to sharing this with the public and anyone who's interested in learning a little bit about the history of our town and of the people in our town.
I want to leave the town for 1 second. A number of years ago, a gentleman died in Wisconsin. And his children went upstairs and found all of his stuff. And they started to look at it and never, ever realized that this man, who was a funeral director in a little city in Wisconsin, was one of the men who raised the flag at Iwo Jima.
Really?
And that's from where the book Flag of Our Fathers and the movie Flag of Our Fathers comes from.
Wow.
So we're going to take all this stuff from Orrin Keyes, and we're going to save it. And I just can't thank you enough to John Marchant, who graciously donated this to all the town of Barnstable. And we're going to find a place to put this and store it so that everybody in the future can see it and wonder and know why Mr. Keyes had a beach named after him, and what a wonderful story this is.
Well, thank you, Lenny, and great to hear the story, and we look forward to hearing more. Good morning, everyone. We're back with more of our Barnstable This Morning Christmas Eve special.
Love it.
Definitely, and of course you tune in to us each and every weekday morning here at 7 a.m. Sarah Colvin here with Sarah Mantle, and the next segment we're going to show is one that you did, and this is such a cute idea they have down in 6A.
I love it. You know, little free libraries have been popping up all over. There's actually one at someone's home in Hyannis, sort of tucked away, but I've been watching that and seeing the trend nationwide, and then the Sturgis Library decided to do their own little free library. It's right outside of Nirvana Coffee down the street from the library, and it's really cool. They put a lot of work into it. You can just go and leave a book, take a book, whenever you want.
Very cool. So let's learn a little bit more about the Little Free Library here on our Barnstable This Morning Christmas Eve special.
Good morning, everyone. You are watching Barnstable This Morning. This morning we are at the Sturgis Library with Library Director Lucy Loomis and Cataloging Services Librarian Magda Brancato. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me.
Thank you.
We are here to talk about something really cool and kind of different. The library actually has a new little free library in the Village, right next to Nirvana Coffee. Tell me first, Lucy, how did you stumble across the idea of opening a little free library in the Village?
Well, it's kind of a movement or a thing across the country. A lot of neighborhoods and libraries, even individuals, are putting them up to share books and promote reading, and some people write books and put them in there, or they put in their favorite children's books. So we thought it would be a great idea, and the Village needed one. So
it's interesting to me because looking at the Little Free Library, how does that work? Do you have some donated books that go in it, or are they actually library books? How does the system work?
The system works that people donate books to the library. We get donations all year round we have a bookshop. We add books to our collections. So we go through the books and what we can't fit in the bookshop or what's sort of left over, we put down there for people to share. They can take a book, they can put a book in, they don't have to leave one and take one. It's not a one-to-one thing. And then if they have books to donate, if it's just one book, they can leave it down there, but if they have boxes of books, they can bring them to the library and we'll sort through them.
Great. And Magda, you actually contributed in a special way for the Little Free Library. Tell me about your part.
As soon as Lucy told me that we are going to have a Little Free Library, I was like so excited that we can actually decorate it how we want to do it. And me and Antonia, our reference librarian, we were thinking what to put on it so it will actually look like it belongs to the Village and our library, that it looks like it's from Sturgis Library. So we decided to make a little bit like a beach theme on the side too, and of course Sturgis Library at the back, so you can see that it's from us.
And it's so adorable, the Little Free Library. Have you noticed that residents and maybe even visitors are taking advantage of it?
Absolutely. People talk to us, we've gotten emails, we've gotten phone calls about people being really excited. I've been stocking the shelves and the staff takes turns if we're going down to the Village, and every day there's books taken and people have left some things, so it's exciting. One of the things I did want to mention is that it took a lot of people to really put it together. One of our former trustees, Howard Woolard, who's a builder in town, actually made the building. Magda and Antonia Stevens, our reference librarian, decorated it. We had to get permission from Old Kings Highway and from Barnstable Market since it's on their property, and then Doug Mitchell and his crew of construction guys put it up, put the roof on, installed it, and made it look great. So, you know, it took a lot of people to make it happen.
Definitely a group effort that is well worthwhile. I have to say, what a better location than outside of a coffee shop. I mean,
Right.
if you're heading to a coffee shop, you might be interested in sitting around and reading a book. So take a step on outside and check out whatever you have to offer in the Little Free Library. How many books fit in the Little Free Library?
Probably about 30. Depends if there's children's books. Children's books are smaller. We did want people to notice some of the things if they take a really close look. I think Magda and Antonia put some little secret things in there. I think there's a ghost in the window if people look really closely. And Magda, what did you put inside of it?
We have stars that glow in the dark.
Up on the roof.
Yes, we have owl flying there. We have, I did the decoupage inside, so it's when you take a book, you can see the flowers in the back.
And I think Antonia put a little kitty in the front,
Yes.
hiding in the bushes. So people should look really carefully because they might find something. Actually, we plan on adding a few more things. So
Find all the little spots. Do you think this is gonna maybe encourage kids or even other adults to read when maybe they wouldn't have made that trip to the library?
I hope so. Or, you know, maybe just have them try something different. You know, sometimes if you're come here, you're looking for something very specific. But if you've got just a shelf of a few choices, you might pick something you wouldn't normally read. So I think that's important.
Well, great. Thank you, both of you, for joining us this morning. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be back here to find out what else is going on at the Sturgis Library very soon.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
For Barnstable This Morning, I'm Sarah Mantle.
I think one of the great things about what we get to do is that we get to go around town and meet all the people that do so many wonderful things and get to explore and get out of the office every now and then is a lot of fun.
I agree, and learn about some really cool programs and things that happen around town in all sorts of places, especially Sandy Neck. I mean, there's no better assignment than Sandy Neck.
Absolutely, it is the best place to go. But again, it's so wonderful, and that's our segment that coming up next. First, we have some greetings to get to, some more of these holiday greetings. I love these holiday greetings.
Oh my goodness. And they're awesome.
They really are.
I'm so thankful that we had so many people stop down to our studio and wish everyone a happy holiday.
Absolutely. So let's check out these greetings and we'll be back with more.
Hi, I'm Mark Ells, Assistant Town Manager, wishing you a happy holidays and a healthy new year.
I'm Bill Cole, Human Resources Director with the Town of Barnstable, and I'd like to wish you and all your family a happy and healthy holiday season.
Hi, I'm Bud Brielt. I'm the Airport Manager in Hyannis, and I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
We love you.
From the Rec Department and HYCC.
So yes, as we are talking about getting out of the studio, this next segment that we're going to show is you got to go talk to Nina Coleman out on the Marsh Trail at Sandy Neck.
Such a beautiful place, no better environment, and there's really no one I can imagine that cares more about what they do than Nina Coleman. She really loves wildlife, and I mean, she's always there rescuing turtles, and I mean, you name it, she does it.
That's right,
so
protecting the dune, you know, and it's great. And so all 4 seasons, you know, whether it's going out there to see the snowy owls in the winter or enjoying a nice, long, lazy summer day, it's just a fantastic place. So let's head out to Sandy Neck here on Barnstable This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. You are watching Barnstable This Morning. This morning, I am at beautiful Sandy Neck Beach with Beach Park Manager Nina Coleman. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for having me.
I don't think there's a better assignment than coming out to Sandy Neck.
No, there is not.
Yes, we have so much to talk about. We just went through Memorial Day weekend. How was that weekend for you? Was it extremely busy, or?
It was, yeah. You know, I've been managing the beach for a while, and I find that if they're projecting good weather many days out, people make plans, and that's what happened to the whole Cape, as I'm sure you know. So a lot of people did come from off Cape, and we had reasonably good weather. I mean, it was a little cold for swimming, per se, but we had a lot of campers on the beach. We had a very busy weekend. A lot of people purchased their stickers and, you know, bonded with folks they hadn't seen in a while. So we did have a really good weekend.
It's so exciting. I can't believe it's time already to be back visiting the beach. Talk to me about, I know you guys have a snack bar that's opening. When is that opening, or did that open over the weekend?
That opened over the weekend. It is called the Sandy Neck Snack Shack. They have excellent food. I just, you know, I do have to put a shout out to them. They let us try some of their food, and they do like a really fresh fish and then your normal like burgers and hot dogs and lobster rolls. So they're doing a really nice job up there. They're open on the weekends until the last third week in June, and then they'll be open every day of the week.
Great. One thing I have to mention, I think now, and I am sporting one myself, you guys have a lot of new merchandise to help raise money to support the beach, and this is one of them, a really comfy sweatshirt. But one of the things that is so special about it is that you actually have a new logo for all of these t-shirts and stuff this year.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how the logo came to be.
Well, the logo is something I've been trying to find one image that is Sandy Neck. And Sandy Neck is so many things to so many people. And so this winter, of course, we had a lot of snowy owl sightings. And it occurred to me that it would be really cool to bring all of the variables and images of Sandy Neck into one sort of totem-looking image. And what better thing than an owl, because an owl under Native American folklore is a guardian. So we have the owl, which is sort of guarding or overseeing all of our Sandy Neck, parts of Sandy Neck, the dunes, our sea turtles, the lighthouse. We have a vehicle on there for those folks that love that part of our beach. fishing, a plover, so a lot of things all jammed into one image, but I think it really works.
It's awesome, and I'm going to turn around because my sweatshirt is actually the color version of the thing, and it's so great because I just love it. It's so colorful, and you actually have that on t-shirts. You have a new hat this year, which features the owl eyes. Love that.
Eyes, the fierce protective eyes is what we were trying to go with that. We're hoping that we see these all over town. The new SNK was our logo before, and we want to kind of bring that old logo into the new logo.
Sort of give it a fresh look and add those protective owl eyes on that logo.
Owl eyes, yep. And then for folks who maybe aren't as crazy about the owl, we have the property of t-shirts and sweatshirts as well still.
And you also one thing that I really love too, we didn't actually bring one out, but you also have the sticker t-shirts. So it looks like the Sandy Neck beach sticker on the t-shirt. So those are really cool too.
We do that every year. There's a couple of things about that. I've been doing that for many years. It's just so you know, nobody really picks up on this, but it's always the same color as the Barnstable resident sticker. So brown this year, so it's a brown t-shirt. And that's always really fun. So people collect them year after year after year, as they do their stickers, right? You see these vehicles with the stickers lined up. So that's a little fun fact. And then it's sticker number 1, and that's sort of my inside joke because everybody wants sticker number 1. So you can come and get a t-shirt. And
that's right, and then you have sticker number 1. So those are great items. And tell me what do you do with those proceeds from the t-shirts and the hats and the stickers?
Well, we are a revolving account, so all of those funds go back into the Sandy Neck program, which ultimately is going to fund our educational program, our Head Start Turtle program, our invasive species removal program. So it's a positive feedback loop, if you will.
Great, so you can get a great thing to commemorate your summer here at Sandy Neck. Take it, wear a comfy sweatshirt, but also you're sort of giving back to the beach itself.
You're giving back to the beach, yep.
Love that. Also, you just mentioned the Head Start Turtle program. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell me, how does that work? And I know you partner with some elementary schools in town.
Right, we partner with a number of schools, elementary, right up through Sturgis. Sturgis West, well, one of the Sturgises. And what we do is in the summer when our diamondback terrapins are nesting, we collect a certain amount of those nests for head starting. So, Head Start is technically just giving the animals a boost. So what we want to do is collect those eggs, hatch them out. We farm them out to all these different organizations, mostly schools, but they are at the senior center as well, as I'm sure you know, and library, Sandwich Library. And those folks grow them. And really the goal is to make them big, because the bigger they are, the less things can eat them. So an animal that would be the size of maybe a $50 this time of year, if it's been head started, I got one right here. This is our Sandy Neck, and this guy's actually kind of small. They'd be this size. Less can eat this than a little tiny.
Right.
It's that simple, but it's a beautiful program. These guys are state listed endangered, and so we're helping the population out, and this is a precious population of these animals. So we're actually seeing returns from that. The number of females nesting is going up and up and up from this program. And we're also doing the educational piece with the community, the outreach with the community, and really and truly, like how to invest a kid in the Great Marsh. A turtle that they've named, they've raised, they watch grow, they've charted, they're learning some science there. Then they come as a group and release their terrapin into our marsh, and probably will never forget that experience. So nothing but positive with our Head Start program. This little guy will be released. Like I said, most of them are a little bigger than this guy. Had a little trouble getting going with the growth. But we'll be releasing him on June 9th. I think we wrote that
June
down.
8th, Sunday, June 8th at 5 p.m. Everybody's going to meet at the gatehouse, I think, and then you take a little bit of a walk. So you actually recommend that anyone who's coming for the event dress appropriately. What would you recommend that they wear?
Yeah, well, it depends on the weather, but certainly the shoes are important. And bring some water. We're going to have to hike out over uneven terrain. Sunny, we need to get that sunscreen on, and the kids need to be prepared for a bit of a hike. So I do hope folks can come down. We have this animal plus a number of other ones that we'll be releasing. That we keep the ones that are not quite thriving. We being Sandy Neck and the Marine Environmental Affairs Department, and those are the ones we're releasing.
Great, and then just so we know, are residents welcome if they maybe weren't participants in the Head Start program? Can they still come and watch the release?
Absolutely, yes.
Great,
Definitely.
so open to all.
Open to all.
Thank you so much, Nina. I really appreciate you inviting us to Sandy Neck. Like I said, I don't think there is a better spot to conduct an interview. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
My guest this morning was Sandy Neck Beach Park Manager Nina Coleman. For Barnstable This Morning, I'm Sarah Mantle.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable This Morning. My gosh! Santa Claus stopped by our studio. I can't believe it.
Merry Christmas, Barnstable.
Santa Claus. So it's Christmas Eve. You're out there. I think the reindeer are kind of hanging out in the town hall parking lot as you continue on getting ready to deliver toys. But the weather's not going to be that great. So are you guys all prepared for that?
No problem at all.
No problem at all. The reindeer are all set.
They don't call them reindeer for nothing.
That's right. Any sneak preview, Santa, on what's going to be under our Barnstable This Morning Christmas tree this year? Or is it a big secret?
Oh, it's a big secret, of course.
Have all the boys and girls in Barnstable been good this year?
Most of them have, yes.
Most of them have. Well, that's good. Santa Claus, any greetings you have for our Barnstable This Morning viewers?
Just Merry Christmas, Barnstable, and a Happy New Year.
All right, well, I know that you are very busy, Santa Claus. You have to get all around the world. You stopped here in Barnstable, so I'll bet those reindeer are ready.
That's right.
All
Gotta
right.
roll.
That's right. Well, Santa Claus, thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
He's going to run away. Bye, Santa Claus. Well, we've got lots more to come on Barnstable This Morning, but we're going to finalize our happy holiday greetings from town staff here on the show.
Hi, I'm Tom Lynch. May the warmth and the spirit of this holiday season be with you throughout the new year. And to all our viewers and to all our staff, may 2015 be the best year yet.
Hello everybody, I'm Debbie Lavoie. I work at the Marine Environmental Affairs, and I just wanted to take a second to wish you all a happy holiday season and a happy new year. I hope that 2015 is a better year for all of us, the United States, and the whole world. To quote John Lennon, let's give peace a chance.
Happy holidays to all from the Town Collector's Office and staff of Ghislaine, Grace, and Laurel. Wishing you all a happy season.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Town Manager's Office.
How cool is that? The Santa Claus stopped by our studio.
Love it.
Very
I think
nice.
that's so awesome.
That's
I
right.
can't believe you made time to stop by Barnstable this morning.
I know. I think that's great, and I think that everyone is going to have a wonderful Christmas. Nice to know that Santa Claus stopped by. You know, and we've been really talking about how great it is to be able to get out and around and see all the wonderful things that are in town. And I think one of the greatest things that we've got here in Barnstable is our shellfish department.
Oh, yes.
You know,
they
delicious.
do so much.
They really do. They really do.
And a lot of what they do is assisted by a ton of volunteers in town.
Absolutely, and you know, without them out there helping to propagate the shellfish, helping to monitor, helping people who might have questions who are going out to shellfish, and they are thanked every year at a special ceremony, and I love to go to that, not just because of the free oysters, but because it's
partially
maybe
because
maybe
of
a
the
little
free
bit
oysters.
because of the free oysters, but really it's because it's great to see so many people recognized, and that's our final segment for our Christmas Eve special is our visit to the Shellfish Volunteers. So let's check it out here on Barnstable This Morning. It's a party here at Marine and Environmental Affairs headquarters in the town of Barnstable. Volunteers that have helped out all year round with shellfishing are here. We're going to talk to them and a little bit about the shellfish industry here in the town of Barnstable. I'm Sarah Colvin.
So today we're having Volunteer Appreciation Day. Thanking all the volunteers for their hard work. They've been working with me all summer and the shellfish crew here, digging bushels of clams, planting clams, just a lot of hard work, especially in the hot summer sun. So today we're thanking them all, having a big party with lots of food. We planted 615,000 quahogs this year under 40 nets, which is a lot of work, and they were really crucial to that. This year we had 72 volunteers. There's about 150 on the list, and it grows every year. But they'll be out there in all sorts of weather, and I always have people that are there to say, you know, whatever you need, rain or shine, I'm there. So trust your volunteers. We give them a certificate, and we always give them a little surprise. We're going to hand out these insulated grocery totes with our natural resources emblem on them. We try to show a little appreciation, but they do so much work. I mean, I wish I could give them, you know, something else, something big. They can send me an email. They can stop by the shop. We have people who go shellfishing at the landing, and they're just like, hey, I want to be on your list. And then I send out an email, a mass email, and whoever shows up, shows up. It's very flexible. Just let me know if you can come, and if not, no big deal. So yeah, you can put in as little time or as much time as you want. So right now we have all sorts of things out there. Yes, oyster season opened, so it's very plentiful right now. We had quahogs open in a couple of different areas that were closed during the summer, so tons of quahogs. I've been finding some soft shell spots too, which people are always craving, and even razor clams. There was a good razor clam set this year too, so keep your eyes open for that.
Because we have some seasonal staff, and then when they leave, mostly in December, we're down to probably 2 people to do that propagation, which is extensive, and they're endless, you know, hours they give us. We have an award this year for the person who did the most hours. One lady did probably 69 hours or so for the summer season, which is tremendous. You know, as far as we can't say enough good things about them.
I have one person that I really want to thank. And that's Kirsten. Kirsten volunteered 66.75 hours this year. So Kirsten, if you come up here, you'll be the first to receive your certificate. And for volunteering so many hours, we have the Golden Rake Award. This will be a new tradition passed down every year. Bag.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Wow.
Just the right size for when you're on your knees.
There you go.
We don't need any training. We will train them sort of on site, but some people have limited abilities. Some people just count for us. Some people can help us with the nets or with the heavy boxes. They all have, you know, the different duties they can do for us with their abilities they have. And we welcome all people. Tremendous amount of work, yes. I can't even, the staff we have, and the volunteers augment that, but I mean, the staff we have, I wish everybody in town had the staff that I have. They're phenomenal. Well, when I talk a little bit later, I'm going to say that these people have some things that the rest of the people in town don't, you know, a sincere gratitude, and just for their spending the hours they spend with us. It's amazing how much time you guys put in for us. I'm sure sometimes you guys enjoy getting out in the field and enjoying some of the embankments that a lot of people pay a lot of money to look at. And this is not as volunteering as that. I'm sure you guys like a lot. But I mean, I can't say enough about the staff we have. And then to add, they're fantastic, and to add the volunteers along with it. I don't think there's another town on the Cape can match anything like that.
I really wanted to thank you too. This is my first year kind of running solo. Not really solo. I had Tom and Connor and Nicolette and all the support from Natural Resources. But I really wanted to thank you for making this such an easy year. It was wonderful. And when I was pulling out my hair and freaking out about something, you were all there to be like, all right, let's just go dig some clams, you know? It's really wonderful, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for such a good year.
Good morning, everyone. It's really been great taking a look back at some of those great segments just on today's show, and we'll get a chance to do that next week with our annual year in review, and those will start airing on Monday, December 29th, and go all the way through January 2nd. We've got 5 shows planned for you. So many segments. It was really hard to pick which ones we were going to put in our year in review.
It was. We had a lot of really cool segments and a lot of great experiences this year.
Absolutely. From everything from snow and more snow and more snow in the first episode to dealing with serious issues like substance abuse. We'll remember our Barnstable High School intern, Brenna McCoubry, her segment with Pat Clark, the principal of Barnstable High School, is in there. We've got heading out to the golf courses. We've got 375th. We have just so many things. It's so hard to list. Welcoming new guests, new members, local authors. We do all sorts of stuff here on Barnstable this morning.
Yeah, we cover a wide range of topics and issues and events, and I think it's been a great year, and I look forward to 2015.
Absolutely, as do I, and I want to take this opportunity as well to thank all of our viewers who tune in to us, whether you tune in once a week, once a month, or every day, like some of our loyal viewers do, like your dad, who I have to thank so much for watching. Sarah's dad, we love you.
Thanks for tuning in.
That's right.
Even from Ohio.
Exactly, and Henry Ramage, who watches all the time as well. We
and
thank
Renee Poyant, one of our most loyal viewers as well.
So we love our viewers, and we're thankful that you tune us in, and we again would love to hear from you. btm@town.barnstable.ma.us is our email address. You can feel free to send us emails, what have you. And that kind of brings us to the end of today's show.
Yeah, and I think the icing on the cake that we're going to get to see is something that I really enjoyed watching yesterday. I think I could have watched it 4 times. It is a compilation of all of our weather photos, every single weather photo that we've had this year.
That's right. And we did 241 shows. This is our 241st live show this year that we've done on Barnstable This Morning. And each one of those shows has a weather picture, a unique weather picture. And so this is a great, and I love to see kind of it change through the seasons, because a lot of them are pictures that you or I took or our viewers took. And so we go through snow to the summer to the fall, back to the winter
and I love
again.
It too, because sometimes we incorporated some things from segments. So we have a great photo of us and Mark Ruffalo. I mean, that was a highlight of the year.
Ooh, that was a highlight of the year. Good stuff. We like Mark Ruffalo. That's coming up in our year in review as well. We'll be able to watch that
and some birthday photos or wedding anniversary photos. So
exactly.
Really fun stuff.
It's great stuff. So again, we thank you all so much for watching, as you do each and every weekday morning. From us to you, our viewers. I'm Sarah Colvin.
I'm Sarah Mantle.
Let's check out that weather video and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.